Welcome back to JOJ. It's August 25th, and we are wrapping up our 20 questions for 20 years. If you've not seen the previous episodes, we've done 5 each week for August, and then they've come from 5 from me, 5 from Aunt, 5 from Jake and Sarah, the newlyweds, and then 5 between the 3 of our children. So it's been real fun and interesting, and we can't wait to see exactly who all the questions came from, other than the ones we know we did.
Yeah, we know the ones we did, but yeah, the other ones have been kind of just Jake has mixed them up, and yeah, it's been fun. So
yeah,
been a lot of fun. So. All right, question number 1. What is it, Jake?
Question number 1. What annoys you the most about your spouse?
I'm guessing this is a kid's question.
That's not mine.
Okay, not me either. What annoys you the most about your spouse?
He's scared to answer. I'm going to say his snoring.
Well,
but that's an easy one.
But I'm going to say you complaining about my snoring is what annoys me the most.
But if we're going to pick a random thing, I mean, I probably could write a list is the problem.
You get one. It's just the most annoying. You don't get a list. You get to pick one.
I mean, snoring's the easy one. But he also whistles songs in the car, and it really drives me crazy, and I really have to not say things.
Really?
Yes. That's my confession, is when you whistle to the songs, I want to tell you to quit whistling and to stop, but I don't. And I don't know why, but it drives me insane.
20 years. That's what I just learned.
That's my secret annoyance of the last 20 years.
Not so secret anymore.
Not so secret anymore. Now he's gonna do it just for the fun of it. Should have never admitted it.
Yep. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Ammo. Yeah. Now, I mean, it for 100%. You complaining about my snoring is the biggest annoyance that I have.
Really?
Yeah.
In 20 years?
Because
I have no other weird quirks.
If it annoyed you that bad, you'd go to the couch.
You could have surgery and have it fixed.
That's like a lot. I mean, that's a major undertaking.
But if you know that it's so bad that it keeps me up, you should be the man and go sleep somewhere else.
Yes. Okay. Okay. But
why would you kick me out of our room?
If I knew 100%, if they said 100% this will fix you, I would do it. But they didn't say that.
I didn't say surgery. I said you would go sleep somewhere else.
Oh, well, that's unhealthy.
Okay, next question, Jake.
Let's fix this. What's the best?
He's going to ask one of your questions because he knows you're ready.
What's the best character trait about your spouse?
Oh, yeah.
And that's not my question. Is this your question? No, it's one Jake and Sarah's question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best character trait.
Yes, yeah.
I would say, even though I don't love it all the time, but like you're honest, like you're pretty brutally honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brutally honest.
Yeah.
I think feel like I was that. Yeah. I mean, I'm honest.
Do you lie a lot? I feel like you're honest.
Not most of the time.
Okay.
No,
I don't know. I feel like you always want to do the right thing. Yeah. Like good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. If it's hard, because if it's hard, I'm like, no, we can just do something else.
Right.
But
yeah.
No.
Brutally honest. And see, I feel like I could say the same for you because you're. I mean, like if I ask you an opinion on something, you're not going to. As I would like, you can be nice to somebody or you can love them. You're going to love me. You're not going to be nice to me if that's what the situation requires. Yeah, best character trait. I feel like that's turning that into a negative, though.
Yeah, a little bit. You think?
The kind of friend and mother that you are. Like you're going. What if it's something? If you see a need for somebody, if it's a friend, if it's one of your children, who somebody that's in your circle that you care about, especially, you're going to do whatever you can for them. Like it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
If it's drive across town, especially if it's order something on Amazon, send it to them. Like yeah. But yeah, whatever. If there's a person in need in your circle in any capacity, you're going to do whatever you can for them.
All right. What do you look forward to the most in the future?
Is this your question?
Yeah.
What do you want to look forward to the most in the future? I think traveling with you, like going wherever, wherever that may be.
Yeah, my thing was going to be like retirement, or okay, we might sound like really bad parents right now.
You're the one talking.
Okay. He agrees heavily. Don't worry. Is I love our kids, and I do, like, I know we'll be sad when they move out and like they, you know, get married and start their own little lives. Like, I know that'll be a whole, like, grieving, you know, sad, happy, all the things. But at the same time, like, I really look forward to it just being us and kind of doing our own thing. Like, that's always the bad part, is like when we get away from the kids for a little bit and then it's like they come back and we're like,
oh, we're coming home.
Maybe we should go somewhere else, or like,
yeah.
But no, I mean, I do. I mean, I want to sound like we don't love our kids. Obviously we do, but I do look forward to that.
Yeah. Because I mean, we were married for 2.5 years and then we had Abby. We have had kids every day since. I mean, and our, you know, and I mean, and we never won't, obviously, but I mean, that's what we had 2.5 years when we first got married, where we were, it was literally us.
Yeah, and I think too, just having some older friends and stuff, a little bit older than us, is them always like saying, you know, make sure that you kind of don't forget how much you like each other. Like, because in raising kids you can easily end up, you know, I kind of have my life here, you have your life there, and then the kids all leave and you're like, I don't even know if I like you anymore. Like, you know, kind of thing. So just being intentional of that.
How or what is the best way to move past arguments or annoyances?
I don't know that we move past them very well.
Find the next thing to argue about.
Yeah.
Find the next problem.
Refocus. Go get some ice cream.
Oh, ice cream does fix a lot of things. Actually.
Ice cream fixes everything.
Yeah, ice cream does fix a lot of things.
Yes.
Except your waistline.
Yeah. Especially not God's chosen favorite people. No, I think for us personally, like, especially if it's an argument, is to definitely take a moment. Like, I have to, I mean, the whole controlling my tongue thing is I have to step away from it. Like, I feel like if this is especially with us, but even kids and stuff, like, and to try to look at it, like, to swap the perspective. I feel like I've had to do that, like, whenever we get in an argument, Aunt has no idea why I'm so upset, and I'm like, okay, reverse the situation, you be me, and, you know,
walk your way back through it.
Yeah, like, and, you know, then unless I'm just being crazy, for the most part, he's like, oh, like, that actually makes a lot of sense of, you know, why I'm upset or whatever. So to look at it from each other's perspective, but then to know, like, at the end of the day, you're on the same team. Yeah. Like, we can fight against each other about something, but at the end of the day, it's us versus them. So to not forget that you are one team, not against each other.
You're not two teams and somebody's trying to win. That you literally are. You are all one team. And that's absolutely trying to see the other person's perspective, and a really big part of that is both people verbally communicating exactly why they feel the way they feel, because some people are really good mind readers and other ones, generally the male species, are not. So it's really important to just beat us over the head with it verbally, to make it very plain, and then more times than not, we're going to completely understand where you're coming from, and you know where the mistake happened. But yes, I think that communication to find the root of the problem will help you move past the problem, and then you can enjoy your ice cream. Yeah.
And you have to say and to, like, apologize, and which I'm not very good at, so I won't. You should say I'm sorry.
It's a good thing you don't often have to.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yep. If you could change anything in the past, what would What would you change and why?
Wow. Is this your question? That's why you're looking at me like that. Dang.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's almost an argument that it made sense why we had it at the time, but it was completely irrelevant. But when we'd gotten engaged and I was like, I don't want to get married for 3 or 4 years, I probably wouldn't have said that.
That's a good story to tell, though.
Yeah.
Now, I think you should probably take back the day that you said you didn't know if you wanted to get married. The day I bought my wedding dress. That was the day I threw my engagement ring.
Yeah.
That I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, that was probably, I shouldn't have done that one.
Yeah. And then he told Abby that he didn't want to get married so young. So he's got some strikes on his, and that was recent, so.
Well, because
And you know what my answer was?
What?
My answer was going to be that I would have just kept dating you after the first go around.
Oh. That you wouldn't have took
Yeah,
you
but I would
have threw me to the wind after 3 dates and said, this guy's a dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So that I have to dig myself out of the hole a little bit because we were so young. We got engaged technically. I was still 17. Jennie was 18.
I didn't realize that till like last year sometime.
Yeah, but we had been engaged for a month or so, maybe at this point. When you got your dress.
Oh, we got engaged in September. Yeah, it was a month or 2.
Yeah. But it was like, I don't know. I thought it would be 3 or 4 years before we got married.
Well, no, the first argument was the day after we got engaged.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were sitting in my car and I was like, well, we should probably talk about we kind of both had said we wanted to get married in August. And I was like, maybe we should figure out a date or something. And this was September, fall of September. And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, oh, I thought it'd be 3 or 4 years before we'd get married. And I think my head spun 3 times.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got a year. I don't want to be one of those people that are engaged for 3 or 4 years. There's no point in dragging it out. We're either getting married or we're not. Mm-hmm. And then he was very nervous.
Yeah.
After that.
Oh. So this is serious. It was serious, but I thought it was
I guess he thought we were kidding. I don't know.
It all worked out.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I don't know if we answered the question.
Yeah, I don't know if we did either.
You guys, no, you did. You guys said, what would you change in the past and to be dating longer and then not saying that you wouldn't get married in 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Precious.
I think this is the last question. What was it like getting out of the honeymoon phase of your marriage and turning into normalcy? Was it problematic? Was it hard? Easy? How did you guys maintain the spark?
Yeah. Getting out of the honeymoon status and the normal marriage. Honestly, our honeymoon was a bit of a disaster.
It was a lot of a disaster.
So Jennie had a very kind aunt and uncle that allowed us to stay in their beach condo in Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
Drive their convertible Mercedes car around that was for our week for honeymoon. That was that was our vacation and didn't cost us a penny.
No, we paid for our flights down and that was it.
Yeah, and that was it. So 2 days in?
2 days in, I think.
2 days in, Hurricane Charlie showed up on the scene.
We had to go and stay with my aunt and uncle and my cousins, and I'll spare some other details.
Yeah. So it was, honestly, we were glad to come home from the honeymoon because it was
yeah. It was definitely not the honeymoon we were thinking. Yeah. But as far as you should never come out of the honeymoon phase. But once you get home and real life sets in, that's really probably when the work starts.
Yeah.
Because everything else you're kind of on that high of planning the wedding and you've got your honeymoon and then you come home and it's oh, you're still here, just trying to figure everything out. I don't know, gosh, it was so long ago.
Yeah. I think, it may be fun to say, but I think finding some routines or some structure I just think of even doing the dishes, of doing the cooking, of doing all the
Yes.
chores that you now have as a couple together.
Yeah.
And you may have had those chores in your own parents' homes, but having all of the life dependencies and being like, okay, this is, it's one of two ways. I think you either need to find the structure and be like, this is going to be, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to do the cooking. I'm going to do this. So you kind of either work through those jobs together, or you make the agreement up front where you're like, hey, we're all going to work on everything. We're both going to do everything. We'll both help cook. We'll both help clean. We'll I'll grab the vacuum just as fast as you grab the vacuum. Like, it's so figuring out, do we have things that, like, I want to take this task. Yeah, because I guess
you could come into it having like this, because you have, like, where I came from a household where my mom pretty much did everything, and I came from a household where his mom did everything. And my dad would help some, but like, now you're like in these new roles of like, okay, am I just automatically supposed to be the one that does everything, but I'm working too, and so figuring all of that out. And then obviously, like, we kind of came into our relationship with the Lord the longer we were married. So like, being rooted in that, I'll say for Jake and Sarah, since you all were rooted in that before you got married. So finding, Bible studies and always keeping that a focus too.
Yeah.
To where, our focuses were elsewhere at the time, but once we figured out that's what was missing, like, I feel like it changed us radically. Yeah. Because before, we're just young, living life and working and trying to pay our bills.
So I think absolutely, getting plugged in that way,
and learning each other's
quirks.
Love language.
Yes, thank you, Jake. Yes, is knowing that, because we are so different. Like, learning each other's love languages and, really being intentional about that as well, I think is a good way to, and I will say, so Ott and I, we tried to do a little staycation this past weekend. First, we were like, okay, well, we could go away for the weekend. Well, then, like, it was 4th of July weekend, so everything was packed, busy, and even like a normal priced room was like $500 or $600 for the night. And I was like, that's dumb. Like, I don't want to spend that. So we were like, we'll send the kids away. Like, we'll stay home and we'll get rid of them. Well, then, like, Abby had to feed, so like she was still there Friday all day Saturday. So she finally left Saturday night. So we had like Saturday night and Sunday, and then we picked the twins up after church. But this is my advice for you, Jake, as you all get further in your marriage and you have kids, is to be intentional about, like, going away from your normal lives. Because we said this weekend, we're like, well, it was nice, but I couldn't be relaxed because I'm walking through the house and I'm like, oh, they still didn't pick that stuff up. Oh, I need to go change their laundry. Like, just, so mentally, I couldn't be.
You have to unplug.
Yes.
Jenny's the kind of person that, and I think a lot of people, especially women, are that way. They have to be removed from the situation and drop somewhere else to actually be able to unplug and be like,
to not see it and
I can enjoy this.
Yeah. So to be kind of intentional, and it can be something that doesn't have to be expensive, can, be something just to go away.
It doesn't have to be expensive. Jenny's not going to go camp. So it's not a tent.
Not in a tent.
So it just depends on, doesn't have to be expensive.
Sorry.
It doesn't,
FYI. Fine print.
Well, I mean, and some women perfectly love camping. I just have not had good experiences with it. So
nature does hate her.
Nature hates me extremely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anywho, is that it?
That's all? All right.
We survived.
20 years.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in and listening to us ramble on of random questions. But excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all for watching. And
I think we'll be live next week, pretty sure.
Okay.
So
maybe not. I guess we'll see.